And we know the scriptures say we shall prophesy in part and we shall know in part. But then when he that has come, we shall know all things in full. I'm not quoting verbatim. But pretty much when Yahweh Shah returns on the earth, all the secrets of the universe, we gonna know all that, you know, when the Heavenly Father changes us. Like I was telling the brothers who was that kept our lives that we experiencing right now, the very little life that we living right now, this very moment is a small dust in the eyes of the Father. It's a small speck in the eyes of our existence. When we finna live, bro. Hey man, Yahweh Shema Shah, man, give us life. Jake finna live, man.
That's a beautiful point, my brother. Jake about to live, man. Jake about to truly live forever. And how we gonna tap in? Through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is gonna lead us into eternal life. This wisdom is gonna bring us into the kingdom of heaven, which starts with the elect. In Lord's will, we are those men. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 17. And it reads, "For the very true beginning of her," and her represents wisdom, "for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom." So this wisdom is going to bring us into the kingdom of heaven, because it starts with the Lord's men. "If your delight be in thrones and scepters, O you kings of the people, honor wisdom, that you may reign forevermore." You see? So we're going to reign forever. Lord's willing, we are part of the elect. We about to tap into everything, man. The Lord is going to upgrade us into the knowledge of everything, man. We're going to be omnipotent or omnipotent, as Yahweh Shai and the angels, all knowing. So ultimately, these are the promises that await the Lord's elect. The full understanding of the Lord's creation, unlocking the secrets of the universe, understanding the elements, the spiritual realm, the full upgrade to comprehend high-level knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. This is what's coming.
I'm thinking the left.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, pushing it up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. And what I want to get into tonight, all right, in the spirit, is dealing with a lesson put up by the beloved, elder brother Karatazak out of Vegas, pretty much responding, all right, to an off breakdown, from Bishop Nathaniel concerning, all right, the MOTB, okay? And as we come into the time where prophecy is speaking, it's very vital that we have a solid understanding, all right, concerning prophecy, okay? Because prophecy, understanding prophecy is going to govern our decision making in these times, okay? And there's a lot of Israelites being set up to fail, okay, because they're under the teaching, all right, of false leaders, man, false prophets, Okay. And a lot of the following, of these false teachers and false prophets, all right, are being very simple. A lot of J's gonna die from being simple. Okay. And the scriptures goes into these things. So I'm gonna get a few precepts and then we're gonna play that video and we're gonna go into all right things that were said, man. Okay, we in the time now where things should be searched out. Now, let me share the blue letter. We get a couple words. All right, then we'll go back into it. Onto the video. So let's get the blue letter. All right, which is the book of. I started Proverbs. Okay. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 15. And we see a lot of this going on in the earth, especially amongst these big congregations of these Israelite camps. Okay. Jake is just sitting there being simple as hell. Okay. Being told anything. It says, this Proverbs 14 and 15, it says, the simple believes every word, but the prudent consider well his steps. Okay. So let's go into some of these words. All right. And just like our apostles, taught us, and they push, it's good to go into words. Now, when you go into look at well, okay, because say the prudent look at well, what does that mean? All right. So you go into the word in the Hebrew is bayan. All right. Bayan, it's their brother named Bayan Yashala. All right. Then brother out of Boston. All right. And it says to discern, to understand, to consider. Okay. To observe, to mark, to give heed, to distinguish, to have discernment, intelligent, have understanding. Okay. Having understanding, to show oneself discerning or attentive. All right. But what do you have? You have a bunch of zombies, okay, on the comment boards, in these congregation fringes on everything. And they're zombies, man. Marching anywhere, everywhere, just repeating what they heard, don't really understand what they're a part of, what's going on. Okay? Well, it said the prudent looketh well, which is do what consider diligently, to be attentive. That's why, these live streams so potent, because it's not about just one man teaching the masses like the Christian church. And that's what you see, okay, amongst a lot, of these Israelite groups, is they have the same energy of the Christian church where one man, okay, is just doing all the teaching and everybody is just there shaking their head, zombified, man. But that's why, like with these live streams, they be so potent because you have all these brothers adding to the screen. They're adding precepts, they're adding information, they're bringing things out. Some brother might have information on this topic, that topic, and now you have a potent, edifying live stream because each brother, okay, has showed what due diligence, discernment, have different insight. One of the definitions of insight. Different brothers have different insight on different things, man. And we bring together collectively to edify, man. Okay. But a lot of Israelites is in that Baptist church, okay? Even that Farrakhan, where one man is just teaching the masses. No one's questioning. He just say anything, So you go into his word, simple, okay? In the Hebrew. All right, it's pataya. All right, pataya. All right, pataya. Okay. And you go into it, it says simplicity, naive, open-minded. Okay? Tell you any goddamn thing, man. Okay, silly, seducible. Okay, seducible. A Hebrew word pathia. Okay, and this is what we're seeing in these congregations, man. Okay, one body in your house shot. You hear folks laughing in the background. They just saying anything. Okay, they say anything. The knockoff version of IUIC, they just say anything, man. All right, here's a simple woman, laughing in the background. Jake just there shaking their head, read. Okay, naive and just open-minded as hell, man. Don't have a clue what they're a part of or what's going on. You see? But the spirit should be on us to search things out, because let's go to the video, then we're gonna go get some more precepts, man. Okay. So let's go. Let's go to the video. We're gonna get into these things, man. Okay. Let's see. So what I want to do, okay, we're gonna go into the video, and then we're gonna go into another video explaining what he's trying to make fit as the MOTB and show how it's off, man. Okay, we have to search these things out, man. Okay, it takes a labor, right? If you're not actually laboring in this wisdom, you can be told anything, man. Okay, and we don't want to be like that. And the apostles never taught us to be like that, and we don't breed, okay, just simpletons sitting here shaking their head, man. Search things out. We're constantly being told to search things out, and we tell, all right, the congregation to search these things out, man. Anything that we say, go behind us, man, and check it out. Okay? Don't never take our word for it. Check it out. Go into it. You see? So I'm gonna play this, all right, and we're gonna get into the sanctions that he's trying to make be a part of MOTB. He's all over the place. It's a very contradictory breakdown. Okay, it contradicts itself. Okay, and at the end of it, you leave there not knowing what the hell going on, man. Okay, you just in awe at a man. Okay.
And read 15 again. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't worship this image, you would be killed. So now, watch this. You often, I don't want to say that yet. Read on. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. This mark still goes back to the mark of Cain, which is sin. Okay, but notice the word sin is not there. You'll see the word mark and go, is it a tattoo? Is it a microchip? But listen, read again, 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. Your right hand is your strength. It's what you support things with. Go ahead. Or in their forehead. Your forehead is your mind. Your brain is something you believe. Something remember, we talk about worship, right? We're talking about worship. This is something you believe. We're not going to make like we didn't just read verse 15. Where it talks about worship. Worship is something that's willing generally. Or I guess you could force people to do it, but how could you force someone to worship? Let's read the next verse 17. Watch this. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Now, generally, we can look at it on a broad scale. Let's look at a broad scale with America. If anyone does not follow the policies of America to our nations, what does America do? What do they put on them? Sanctions. You can't buy that country, you cannot buy or sell. But we want to look at it on individual, what's the word I want? Individual scale. Thank you, an individual scale. I'm going to show y'all how they do it on an individual scale. So read that again. Because guess what? If they cut you off from buying and selling, that is a way to force you and me to what? To worship. That's a technique. Where they won't do what we say, Harry. They'll cut them off from buying and selling. Oh, they'll do it. So read on.
Verse 7.
Horrible. Horrible.
So, as you heard, he went from, okay, the mark of Cain is the MOTB. Okay, he's the mark of Cain. Man went back thousands of years, man. Man went back thousands of years, brought it back to sanctions, and then just said, casually said, okay, they cut you off from buying and selling. How? How are they going to do that? Okay, sanctions is on country, is on nations. Even that don't stop them from buying and selling, which we're going to get. Okay, and that's why we look into these things, man. So we can't be told anything, man. Okay, the apostles, all right, through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, the apostles and elders didn't breed simpletons and zombies, man. That's why you can go to so many different channels with brothers of GMS, and you can be edified on different topics, man, and get different insight of what's really going on in the earth, what the scriptures are really speaking of, man. Okay, the man is speaking. The man went back to the mark of Cain, brought it back to sanctions. Okay, and then on the individual level, he said, "Well, let's cut them off from buying and selling." What? How? Okay, that's a cartoon breakdown, man. Okay, all over the place. Now, what I want to do next, okay, let's get some more precepts. All right, I want to get some more words, and then we're gonna go into these things, man. Okay, I'm gonna queue up another video. Let's just go into some more precepts. Real quick. Okay, so now let's go here. All right. Matter of fact, I meant to get this in it. All right. Pathaya. Okay, simple. All right. The Hebrew word for simple is pathaya. All right. And it means a lot of pathaya Israelites in these times, man. You know, because it's easy to be simple. You know, it doesn't take any requirements. You know, you just live carelessly and listen to someone tell you anything and run with it. You know, one thing about it, Jake don't like the label like that, man. You know, now when you get this in the NLT, all right, Proverbs 14 and 15, it says, only simpletons, all right, believe everything they're told. The prudent carefully consider their steps. Okay. And we in the time now, as the scriptures say, let's get this in the book of Acts, the 17th chapter. All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 17 and 11. This Acts 17:11 says, matter of fact, let me get this in. All right. It's still. All right, this is Acts 17 and 11. And it said, these, matter of fact, I started at 10. All right, Acts 17 and 10, it says, and the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble, okay, than those in Thessalonica, and that they received the word with readiness, with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so. So the church of Berea, all right, was known for what? Searching the scriptures daily, being diligent. Okay, they heard about the doctrine of Paul and Silas. Okay, they heard the gospel being preached, but what did they do? They went and searched the scripture themselves, pulled precepts, okay, going into it. And it said these were more noble, okay, because everyone talks about being kings and princesses and the the royal daughters of Zion, and everybody got on the fancy, shoulder pads and the big turbans with the armbands, okay, fringes on everything, simple as hell, man. Nobility starts with having a skill set, man. If you was of a noble class, when you go to this word noble, let's get this word noble. If you were of a noble class, okay, which the Hebrew word is sharak, okay. If you were of a noble class, you had to be skilled, you had to be well-rounded, okay. And just be no simpleton. The nobility, okay, especially of Israel, but the nobility of a ruling class of people, or a class of people in general, all right, of people that are skillful. You're not just pointing and telling people what to do, okay? You're very skillful, all right? So you go into that word nobility.
Strong's G 2104, eugenes. Eugenes.
Eugenes, all right? It probably would give eugenics from. Okay, it says, well born of a noble family, noble minded. Okay, well born, i.e., high in rank. Okay, everyone wants to look the part. All right, but when it comes to a skill set, okay, when it comes to the diligence and really insight on things, I know a lot of Israelites are simple as hell, man, because pretty much they can be told anything. When you go back to the time, all right, when the Babylonians took us down, okay, what happened with certain, all right, Jake that was from the king's seed, okay? This is Daniel 1 and 3. It says, and the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel of the king's seed, which means they was high born, they was noble, okay, Sharak, all right, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom. Okay, everyone wants to look like royalty, all right, but simple as hell, man. Okay, it says, and skillful in all wisdom and cunning and knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning of the tongue of the Chaldeans. So they took pretty much the elite, okay, of the southern kingdom. It made them part of the nobility of the Chaldeans, man. Okay, because when you're running an empire, all right, it's valuable to have men that are skillful, okay, and wisdom and understanding. You see? But Jake is showing a high level of being simplicity, man, of being simple, man. Okay, that was if you sit there and believe that, man, come on, man, that's simple as hell, man. For this man, here it is, all these things happen in real time, and this man went back to the mark of Cain. Okay, and then just said, well, they can stop you from buying and sell like it was a casual thing. No, there's an infrastructure being set up that's going to shut you out from buying and selling, man. Okay, the CBDC, digital currency, man. And we go into it all the time. Programmable money. Come on, man. All right. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, this is Proverbs 25:2. It said, it is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing or to hide something, but the honor of kings, going back to nobility, is to search out a matter. That's a royal search, to become skillful in things and search things out and understand how things work. You know, as a man, all right, especially as an Israelite man, that's who we are as a people. Okay, as we search things out, find out how things work. Okay, and that's why Jake, you know, all these different empires, you go to the Dark Ages, the time of the Moors, even the Russian czars, those were Jake's running empires, man. You know, and they had efficient empires because you had to search things out, man. We don't come from a simple legacy, man. You know? Well, Jake in this time, hey, simple as hell. Okay? And this is really how a father trains up his son. He makes him work for it, man. You know, and this knowledge, all right, hey, increase comes with labor. You know, the Most High gives everyone their portion, but with their portion, we have to labor, all right, to really tap in. Okay? Now, let's go here, because what did the scripture say? Because now I'm going to get to the videos, which so when you go to Daniel chapter 12, from the right chapter, let me see, knowledge. Because we in a time now when the Most High made it convenient, let me see, for us to search these things out. You know, even if you don't remember off the top, okay, a word search will go a long way. Let's see. Not, oh yeah, okay. To and fro. That's one trip. All right, this is Daniel 12:4. All right, there. All right, this is, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end, which the time that we in now. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased, because it's very convenient to increase in knowledge in these times, man. Because as I was listening to this video at work, you know, I listened to Apostle Hart respond to it. Okay. The spirit was on me. Well, let's look up sanctions. You know, let's look up sanctions, what he mentioned. Okay. So I said, we'll look up sanctions. And I came across two videos, one 5 minutes and some change, the other like 2 minutes. And I was informed, because it shows you that knowledge increases. It ain't like, you know, I'm just some extraordinary intelligent guy. Okay. But knowledge is so convenient right now. It doesn't take long to gain certain knowledge on how things work, man. Okay. So let me go into this because he spoke about sanctions as if the scripture say if you don't have it. Hold on. So the scriptures say if you don't have the MOTB, you can't buy or sell. That means you're done. Okay. Well, when you go into the sanctions, okay, when you go into these sanctions, it's like that doesn't stop these nations from buying and selling, man. Okay, and we're going to go into it. All right, so I got these videos queued up. Now this is just dealing with America's sanctions on Russian oil. Now watch how this works, man. And you tell me how can this be the MOTB? Okay, and how can you put this in the nation hand or forehead? Okay.
In late May, 3 months after the US imposed sanctions on Russian oil, gasoline made from Russian crude was delivered to this terminal in New Jersey. It was later distributed to gas stations across the East Coast. It came from this refinery in Italy owned by Russian oil giant Lukoil. That's because of a US sanctions loophole that allows banned Russian crude to be refined in a country outside of Russia and sent to the US. We tracked ships, pieced together months of commodity data, shipping documents, and satellite imagery to reveal how Russia's second largest oil and gas company, Lukoil, is sending Russian oil refined in Italy to companies like Exxon in the United States without violating sanctions. Our investigation shows that Lukoil's ISAB refinery in Syracuse, Sicily, represents one of the most extreme examples of this loophole. The vast majority of the crude for this refinery comes from Russia. It's then refined in Sicily, after which it's considered Italian, thanks to a long-standing industry practice that allows the origin of oil to change based on where it's refined. The US launched sanctions against Russia as punishment for invading Ukraine in late February, banning imports of Russian oil and oil products, as well as blacklisting Russian oligarchs and companies the US says are close to President Putin. Unlike Russia's largest state-owned oil and gas company, Rosneft, Lukoil was not sanctioned. Lukoil still has a presence in the US and distributes oil products to 11 states, according to the company's website. The only reason it can sell Russian oil into the US is because it stops at the refinery in Sicily on its way here. Lukoil's refinery in Sicily is the second largest in Italy and the fifth largest in Europe. Before the war, it brought in and blended crude oil from at least 15 different countries, with an average of 30% coming from Russia. Now, the overwhelming majority of it comes from Russia because European banks stopped lending money to the ISAB refinery after Russia invaded Ukraine. As a result, the Lukoil refinery was no longer able to buy crude from other countries. Since April, as much as 93% of its feedstock is pure Russian crude. The rest is a Russian-Kazakh blend or Kazakh, according to data from commodity tracking firm Vortexa. All of the crude came from Russian ports, with the most coming from Primorsk. We see a shipment loading there in this satellite image from late March. The vessel here is the SEF Baltica, a tanker belonging to Russia's largest state-owned shipping company, Sovcomflot, a company sanctioned by the US. Sovcomflot did not respond to a request for comment. We see the same ship again a few weeks later, delivering that oil to the refinery in Sicily. It's this crucial stop that eventually allows Lukoil to sell this oil as gasoline and other products to the US. A spokeswoman for the US Department of the Treasury, which administers and enforces sanctions, declined to comment. But US sanctions state an exception for any Russian origin good that has been substantially transformed into a foreign-made product. In general, substantial transformation means that the oil has been changed through processing or manufacturing, such as refining. Refining is a process in which crude is heated and distilled. While this process technically transforms the crude into a different product, if the same raw ingredients used in Lukoil's Sicily refinery were brought to the US, it would be a violation of sanctions. The refinery exported almost 5 million barrels of oil products to the US since March of this year. Roughly 2.5 million of those barrels were gasoline. According to the American Petroleum Institute, that's enough to fill about 7 million automobile gas tanks. We traced shipments delivered to at least 7 different buyers in at least 13 different locations. Some of this was gasoline. While we can see where it was delivered, shipping data doesn't always identify the buyer. Data shows fuel oil and gasoline were purchased by Exxon and oil trading companies such as Lukoil's own trading arm, Litasco. The most oil products sent from Lukoil Sicily to the US since March went to Exxon's terminal in Baytown, Texas, just outside Houston. Nearby, a terminal owned by Magellan Midstream Partners, a company that transports and distributes oil products, received the largest amount of gasoline. A spokesperson for Magellan said although they received the shipment, they were not the buyer, and shipping data does not list one. Another gasoline shipment, over 300,000 barrels, arrived at this terminal in New Jersey. Shipping data indicates the receiver for that delivery was also Exxon. A spokeswoman from Exxon said ExxonMobil is complying with all sanctions, and that deliveries it received are certified products of Italian origin. Lukoil did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Though shipments like these from Lukoil Sicily refinery may represent only a fraction of U.S. oil imports, they reveal how difficult it is to track and eliminate Russian oil in the U.S. supply chain. The Lukoil refinery in Sicily will be forced to stop importing Russian crude and may have to close when European sanctions banning it come into effect on December 5th. In the meantime, at a number of gas stations across the U.S., Americans are filling up their vehicles, paying for fuel that in part adds to Russia's profits.
You see? So how can a sanction stop you from buying and selling? Russia's still getting them things off. Okay? And it's all a scam, from up top. Okay? Well, that shows you that sanctions don't block you from buying and selling. They just take it to the Italian refinery. Now it's an Italian product. Okay? But Russia is still getting a profit. Okay? So you can't equate sanctions to the MOTB because it says no one will buy, sell, save unless he had it. Okay? That was a very simple breakdown. But see, if you don't know how nothing worked and you just ready to show up to, the cookout, you ready to auction off, the wife auction, your mind just sit on that, you shooting a video, rapping, break dancing. Okay? If your mind is set in that and you don't know how nothing works, you could be told anything, man. Okay? Now I got another quick one. This one is just about 2 minutes. When I say this is 7 minutes, 8 minutes maybe, and some change worth of, watching YouTube videos, and you can debunk the madness, man. Okay?
I'm worried that
now he's going to go into how U.S. uses, weaponizing their sanctions, but there's ways around it. Okay? So he's going to go into a 2-minute spiel, 2 minutes some change spiel, okay, about sanctions, man.
sanctions have become a tool of first resort in U.S. foreign policy. Under President Trump, they're being used more unilaterally, more aggressively, and against more targets than ever before. To understand if this is sustainable, we have to ask how US sanctions are able to cause such severe economic hardship in target countries. The United States does have a huge economy, but it's not an irreplaceable trading partner. A lot of the power of US sanctions comes not from commerce or trade, but from finance. Because the United States lies at the center of the international financial system, the threat of being cut off from American banks really does focus the minds of foreign companies and thus foreign countries. How secure is this power? Proponents of aggressive sanctions use will argue that the United States dollar's role as the world's reserve currency also ensures the centrality of the US financial system. I'm worried that that's dangerous overconfidence. It's probably true, at least for now, that the dollar's role as the world's reserve currency is secure. In any case, it's way beyond my capacity to judge. But a lot of the role of the US financial system is just, well, plumbing. When you put a dollar into the financial system from anywhere in the world, it's like putting a drop of water into the sewer, and all the pipes run to New York. Something like 50% of international loans and 50% of international invoices are in dollars. Even more importantly, something like 85% of foreign currency transactions have to be bridged through dollars. If you have reals and you want pounds, you probably need to sell your reals for dollars and then your dollars for pounds. You can't sell your reals directly for pounds. This is important. It gives the United States influence and also creates jobs, not just for wealthy bankers, but for all the IT people and clerks and everyone else who works for the financial system. And this power can be lost. With enough political and commercial impetus, other countries could make alternative pipes that completely avoid the United States. It would be complicated and probably expensive, but doable. And that's the point. If we continue to be impetuous with our sanctions power, if we're over-aggressive, if we're unilateral, if we don't show discipline, we fail to prioritize, we'll give other countries exactly that impetus.
You see that? All right, so there's ways, okay, around, sanctions. All right. And America has a lot of influence with that dollar. Okay. They have a lot of leverage, but there's ways around it. You have the BRIC nations. Okay. And these other nations are able to do business directly and don't even deal with America, man. Okay. But at the end of the day, the MOTB ain't going to be an American currency. It's going to be a global digital currency, man. Okay. And you see multiple nations going to the same digital, platform, man. CBDC. Okay. Let's see. It was something. Okay. The new currency is not going to be an American currency, man. So American sanctions has nothing to do. Okay. Let me see. All right, let's go here. Let's say it's let's see what this one's talking about.
One day in the future, paper currency won't be printed anymore. And if you've been living in China these past 5 years, you've used only this to complete all of your financial transactions. In this report from the Bank for International Settlements, the world will have 40 digital currencies in circulation within the next 6 years. But are digital currencies actually safe to use? Take a look at this blog post from Anthony Pompliano, a popular Bitcoin investor who claims central bank digital currencies will be one of the greatest violations of human rights in history, creating an environment where central banks have complete control over every aspect of a citizen's financial life. Now, China is the world leader in digital currency. And in today's video, we're going
Wait a minute. So with the CBDC, they're going to be able to do what? Okay. let's put Revelation 13, 16, and 17 up there, man. Okay? With the CBDC, they will have complete control. That's how they're going to stop people from buying and selling when they change the currency. And to get back into buying and selling, you're going to have to accept the MOTB, the Karagma. Okay? Which is going to be, all right, a device, okay, that's going to be used for buying and selling, man. Let's run it back, man. Matter of fact, let's read the precept first. This is the brother Awalama War. Revelation 13 and 16 says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, all. Okay? This is people, not nations, people. Okay, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the Karagma. It said, and that no man might buy or sell. We read you can get around sanctions, but with this, the CBDC, ain't no getting around. Okay? Say if he had the MOTB, the device needed to purchase, and it's going to do much more. Okay? The devil's up to a lot of wickedness, man. But see, the buying and selling, you can't just casually try to explain that away. Okay? No, what does that mean? It says, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, let's rewind your guy back and see what he said.
Currencies will be one of the greatest violations of human rights in history, creating an environment where central banks have complete control over every aspect of a citizen's financial life. Now, China is the world leader in digital currency, and in today's video, we're going to be analyzing how digital currencies will impact your life in the future. While China is a leader in developing a central bank digital currency, CBDC for short, it most certainly isn't the only country exploring this new technology. 9 out of 10 central banks worldwide are exploring CBDCs, with 2/3 likely to launch within the next 6 years. Money is going digital, and there is simply no turning back. As with most things related to China, there's a lot of fear in the West. But if we take time to understand how China's CBDC works, we learn that China's digital yuan will actually increase privacy for Chinese citizens, and it most certainly will not pose any threat to Western countries around the world. In fact, it will only help other countries, as most likely they're going to be using China's digital yuan to actually increase their trade with China. Let me give you a real-world example to help you better understand. But before I do, let's take a moment to observe the state of the economy right now. 2 years ago, the Federal Reserve printed trillions of dollars to save the American economy during the COVID pandemic. Fast forward to today, and we now have the highest inflation in nearly 40 years and are looking at a possible recession. The S&P is down 18% year to date, and savvy investors are looking for other options. Last month, I introduced my followers to an alternative investment company, Masterworks, which allows individuals to buy shares in some of the world's most famous art pieces, exactly like you would purchase a share of Tesla or Apple stock. From 1995 to 2021, the fine art market has outpaced the S&P by 165%. And most recently, the art market just saw record-breaking auction numbers with the sale of Andy Warhol's Shot Sage Blue Marilyn for a whopping $195 million. So far, Masterworks has sold 3 paintings, each returning 30% net IRR to investors. Of course, past performance is no indication of future results, but 30% is impressive nonetheless. Today's video is all about digital currency and the future of our digital world. I'm sure many of you are savvy investors, and if you are interested in doing more research about art investment and seeing if this would be a great addition to your portfolio, please go to masterworks.art/Cyrus or click the link in the description below. Back to our real-world example. Imagine you buy a cup of coffee with your credit card. Your personal details are linked to that card, and both the merchant and the government know exactly who purchased that cup of coffee. I mean, take a look at my credit card. Cyrus Jansen is literally imprinted on this credit card. Digital currencies offer an additional layer of protection because they use the same technology as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. They assign a numerical address and not the person's name to the digital wallet. This means that if you bought a cup of coffee in China using a digital currency, the coffee shop and the government can only see the numerical address of your digital wallet. Personal information like your name and your social security number are actually hidden from this.
Yeah, he tripping now. Yeah, you want to talk about some others. Okay. But the main point that he made was that they will have complete control with the CBDC, you know, and that's what it's going to be. And that's how they're going to stop you from buying and selling. Okay. So I say I end it here. All right. Brother can put Ephesians chapter 4, verses 11 through 12. Get a couple of the comment board. Yeah, Ephesians 4, I think it's 12 through 14. So like, you know. All right, this the brother GMS prayer, always hope for elect. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 12, it says, and the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Okay, that he may run that readeth it. And see, we're able to run with these things because the technology that our forefathers saw and didn't fully understand, okay, we have them now. Okay, we have, all right, we see the technology that our forefathers were speaking of. It exists now. So we're able to run with the things that they wrote down. Okay, John the Revelator seen people getting the Quran. Okay, he's seen people being shut off from buying and selling. Okay, he's seen CBDC. All right, he's seen these things, and now we're here to run with it. Okay. So let's go here. All right, because the Lord has raised up teachers for what? Prophets for what? When you go to our Lamb of War, Ephesians 4 and 12, it said, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai. Okay, till we all come in the unity of faith. Faith in what? As we were speaking there earlier, that we're going to overcome this man's corruption. Okay, the Lord is going to sustain us when we don't bow the knee to Baal and take this man corruption. Okay, and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High until a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Mashiach, man, spiritually maturing, man, because we all started off simple, didn't know anything. We know how the earth works. We didn't know how, rulership and, geopolitics, and we wasn't into these things like that, man. Okay, but as we matured, because Yahweh Shai he's a ruler, he's the prime example of nobility. Okay, being what? Skillful in wisdom. You see, so as we mature into Yahweh Shai, we should be maturing and becoming skillful in wisdom, man. Okay, this is Ephesians 4 and 14, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning. And a lot of people are caught up by the sleight of men. Okay, the craftiness and the cunning of men, where they talk, where they carry their words, and talking and singing at the same time. Okay, hollering, the show, putting precepts together like they just got it, like it's a slate of men, and a lot of Israelites are gonna die horrible deaths for being simple, man. So I just want to put that out there, because it's the worst time ever to be simple, man. Look things up, man. Look into things, man. Okay, 10 minutes of watching informative videos a day, man, do the mind good, man. Along with the reading and videos, and look into things, man. Okay, We're not bred to be simple, man. Okay. So Lord will you brothers and you few sisters edified. Till next time I say shalom. Kwame Yashala Bob DTA soon. Shalom.